Hi guys, Popmaster here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my Star Wars Celebration experience. So let's get started. Alright guys, so if you don't know, I was at Star Wars Celebration this past weekend, and I already uploaded a whole vlog about it, so if you guys want to go check that out, it's on the channel, so you should be able to find it. And if you guys don't know what Star Wars Celebration is, Star Wars Celebration is kind of like a fan gathering of a bunch of Star Wars fans. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's a fan gathering of a bunch of Star Wars fans, basically, and when they have these events, like they usually have them in a big city at a large convention center because there's a lot of people that go there. And yeah, just a really fun time for people to, dress up in costume and do cosplays and stuff like that. And what they do there is that usually kind of the highlights of the celebrations are called panels. And at a panel, it's basically kind of like a separate room or stage or area where you have to get seating to. That's where they reveal a bunch of new information about upcoming Star Wars projects, and that's kind of the highlight of Star Wars Celebration. And also, it's just a new chance to meet some new people, and it's just a really fun event in general. So I want to talk to you guys about kind of my experience first, and then I'll talk about some good things to happen and some bad things to happen. And there's a lot more good than bad in this episode, fortunately. And then I'll tell you some tips and tricks at the end if you guys ever want to go to Star Wars Celebration or any other con. So the first thing I want to talk about is the exhibit hall. And if you guys don't know what the exhibit hall is, it's kind of like the main area where a lot of the exhibitors, there's a lot of exhibitors who come into the exhibit hall to set up their own booth, and they get to sell stuff. So that's what's going on in the exhibit hall. And this year, Funko, actually, no, most celebrations, Funko has a booth there, and I want a time to go to the booth to buy the exclusives they had there. And you guys don't know, they had a bunch of the bunch of Star Wars characters in blue chrome, which is really cool. And I got to go. I won a lottery time to go there for a day. I wasn't actually at the show, so on the first day, which was Thursday, I went there and I asked the guy, "Hey, can you let me in today?" Even though I didn't win a lottery for today, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." So that was just a really awesome thing that they did. So I wanted to give a huge shout out to Funko and the employees at the Funko booth for doing that to me. It was really nice that you guys were so flexible about the lottery time. So I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, so the next thing I want to talk about is, so also in the exhibit hall, they have the autographs and photo ops, which we'll get to in a bit, and they also have this really cool Galaxy's Edge exhibit, which I showed you guys in the vlog. That was a really cool thing. And they also had this thing called the art show, where a bunch of different artists had some pieces up on display. You could actually buy them. That was really awesome, and there's probably a couple other things I'm kind of blanking out on right now. Just a bunch of really awesome stuff there. And the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is how the panels went. And yeah, so the panels, like I said earlier, kind of the main thing of this event. And I got into two. One was the Episode 9 panel, and one was about the Disney theme park Galaxy's Edge. And for the Episode 9 one, it was really, really special because, for the most of the panel, they were kind of just doing interviews with the cast, and I was kind of getting scared that we weren't going to get either a title or a teaser trailer for the new movie. But then at the end, they're just like, yeah, here's the teaser trailer, and everyone got super excited, and I'll never forget the feeling of me just sitting there watching the trailer, my hair standing up, I'm shaking, I'm super excited, and yeah, that was just a feeling I'll never forget, and that was a super awesome thing that happened. And what made it even better is that after the first time on they showed the trailer, and you could hear Emperor Palpatine's laugh, Ian McDiarmid walked up onto the stage. He grabbed the mic and he said, "Roll it again." And then everyone just erupted. And that's, again, like the last thing. That's just something I'll never forget. It was such a special moment. And yeah, it was kind of lived forever in my heart. So that was a really awesome thing that they did with that. And with the Galaxy's Edge panel that I did, that was also a really neat thing that I got into. I got main seating for that one. And yeah, so that was, again, like a really awesome thing. And with that one, they actually revealed a lot more about the park than I thought, because I thought it was just going to be more from maybe a recap of kind of some other information they already released, and maybe a couple images. But no, they actually revealed a lot. So at the panel, the first thing that they revealed was actually these Star Wars themed Coke beverages. They had Diet Coke, Sprite, and Dasani, all in special Star Wars containers. but it wasn't too Star Warsy that you couldn't tell what you're buying. But it was kind of like that nice mix of kind of Star Wars in real life that they did, which was really cool. And they also revealed some snippets of Hondo's talk in the thing where he's part of the Millennium Falcon ride, where you kind of taking a contract from him, and then you kind of do the ride to get your ship through the TIE fighter safely. So that was really cool. And then they also confirmed that Yoda is going to be at the park, which was really awesome. And they're going into a lot of details about it, how you can actually barter with sort of animatronic things that they have there, which is I really thought that was an interesting thing that they were able to do. And that they also announced that they're going to have a lot of tie-in stories with the park, which was, again, really awesome, and I just love that. It was awesome hearing the crowd reaction. Sorry. Next thing I want to talk about is kind of the employees, and they were at this show. They had a lot of different employees, telling you, where you could go and like where things are and stuff like that. And all of them were super nice, at least the ones I met. They're all really awesome, and whenever I needed to go there, whenever I need to get somewhere, they're always there, and they were super patient towards me. So I want to give a huge shout out to Star Wars Celebration and Lucasfilm in general, whoever hired these employees. You guys made a lot of really good hires. They're all really patient, really nice, and just understanding of people just needing to get around. They weren't yelling at people or anything. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about really is the food court, and this is kind of like a thing I want to throw in here just because. So they had a couple of good places to eat, and it wasn't an experience making or anything, but yeah, so they had places to eat, and unfortunately it wasn't too big of an area, but it was still pretty close by. But yeah, so it was really the food was really convenient in a nutshell. So now we're gonna move on to some tips and tricks that I want to tell you guys before I end the video. So with the lines, okay, this is a huge thing if you're going to go to a Star Wars Celebration. The lines. If you want to get into the exhibit hall, you have to get there about 2.5 hours ahead if you want to get into one of the first spots. And I kind of learned that the hard way. I only showed up about an hour or an hour and a half early, and I was pretty far back in the line. So yeah, if you guys really need to get into the exhibit hall for whatever reason, you probably should show up early. And kind of building on this point, don't underestimate the smaller panels that you don't need a lottery to get into. So they had smaller panels with podcasts and stuff that were there that they had in the smaller rooms, and some of the smaller ones do fill up. So if you want to get into the exhibit hall, you need to be there you probably need to get there probably about an hour early, and you should be able to get seats. But I learned this the hard way. I wanted to get to a military Star Wars military panel at 1:30 on one of the days, and I got there about 1, and it was already maxed out. Like the room was already maxed out. So yeah, you guys should probably get there pretty early if you want to get into those seats. And also with the actual physical panel rooms, it's kind of important to get there early. So even if you do have an assigned seating, all the good seats kind of fill up pretty quickly. So if you have a panel at the beginning of the day, just try to go there. Just go there right away. Don't try to do anything else because you will not get a good seat. Trust me. I learned that, I kind of learned this the hard way with the Episode 9 panel. I got in there a little bit later because we were kind of trying to do stuff. And I got a seat towards the back. So yeah, get there pretty early in a nutshell. And also, next thing, so be prepared for a lot of just crowds and slow walking. So even though there's a lot of kind of movement, it's not really like a walking where you're kind of going like this. It's kind of like this. You're kind of taking really tiny steps, almost shuffling, not even really walking, and that does take a toll on your legs. So if you guys are going to go, just make sure you're do some sort of do some longer walks. I would say if you're thinking about going to one of these conventions, just get your legs kind of ready because trust me, you might just kind of laugh at it now, but it takes a beating out of you to kind of do that slow walking all day and kind of your legs and stuff. At least it did for me. But yeah, so that's all I really have to say to you guys. Overall, I had a really great experience. There was a couple of mishaps with panels I didn't get into and stuff I didn't get. But oh wait, one last thing. Okay, sorry, I always forget. I always start concluding the video after I'm not done. The last thing I want to talk about is the Celebration store, which kind of plays into the lines. And at the Celebration store, it's a huge area with a bunch of different merchandise. But what's kind of weird is that they have pretty much everything you can buy in the physical store you can buy online. And even though that's the case, there's still a huge line to get into the store. So I got there about 2.5 hours early, and I was able to get in as one of the first people. I was in and out there by about 30 minutes after it opened. So if you guys want to go to the Celebration store to buy merchandise, I recommend showing about 2.5 hours early. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just how it is. So yeah, now I'm ready to end the video. So overall, I had a really awesome experience. I met some really awesome people. It just had a really fun time doing the autographs and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so in a nutshell, just make sure you kind of prepare for the crowds in line. Show up early. Yeah, anyways, guys, this has been another episode of Popmaster, me talking about Star Wars Celebration, my experience. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.